few weeks ago, we released our review of the Lian Li O11 Air Mini, and we had a lot of questions from people asking about what air-cooled performance would be like if we used a CPU air cooler. So that's exactly what we did in this video. I built a whole new system with the same CPU, a different GPU, but with an air cooler to see what that performance would look like. So without further ado, let's jump in and build a PC. As usual with these type of builds on the channel, they're designed to inspire you guys to build beautiful PCs of your own. So without further ado, let's jump in. Ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the build in the Lian Li O11 Air Mini, this one right here. But let's check out the thermals and see what the differences are between the original build that we did and this one here. Now, there's a few things to take into account here. The GPU in this is different because I don't have access to that GPU at the moment, the 3090 that I used in the first one. The motherboard's different, but the CPU is the same. That's the main thing here. That's what I wanted to know, what the CPU temperatures would be like. And as you can see, the air cooling performance is a lot better than I expected it to be. Now, I saw some other reviews saying that the air-cooled CPU performance in this case is pretty bad. I think they need to go back and retest it because from what you can see here, it's actually not too bad at all. I tested this quite a few times just to see if there was any variation, and yeah, it was pretty spot on for all of the testing that we did, and That's the main thing here. Like, I just wanted to see what that difference would be, to see whether or not this would be better if you wanted to use an AIO or air cooling, considering Lian Li, again, made the case 2 centimeters shorter, so you can't put a 360mm rad in the top. Now, you would have seen in this build that I actually fit 3 120s at the top, and this shows you that there is no room for end tanks on an AIO whatsoever. So the main thing is with this build in particular is we put as many fans as we could. So there's 10 fans in total, not including the 2 fans on the CPU cooler. So this probably helps with the thermals of this system itself. Now, most of the time, people aren't going to be putting this many fans in a system, but one request that we get is, what is the thermal performance like with the optimal or maximum fan configuration in cases? So that's exactly why I did it this way, because for my sake and everyone else's sake out there for curiosity, we just had to know what the deal was if we jam them full of fans. That's basically all I've got to say about the thermals. They're actually better than I expected them to be. Okay, let's chat about all the parts in this build. The CPU is the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. We put that on the ASUS ROG B550A Gaming. To cool the 5900X, we use the Deepcool AS500 Plus in white. The RAM is 32 gigs of Team Group Extreme ARGB in white, and yes, I know I always use this RAM in white builds, but it's the only white RAM kit that I've got, so why would I use anything else? The GPU is the ASUS ROG Strix RTX 3080 Gundam Edition. This is also the only white GPU that I've got access to right now, and it kind of fits the aesthetic of this build perfectly. The cable extensions you're seeing here are custom-made cable mod cable extensions in white and silver. All of the fans in the system are Lian Li SL120 uni fans. There's 2 140 uni fans in the front, and the rest are 120mm uni fans. As far as this case, we've already covered everything that I needed to talk about this case in our original review. You can check it out in the top right-hand corner right now, and I'll put a link in the description so you can peruse the review and basically find out everything about this case. This one was a little bit different for me because I was also curious about air cooler clearance. There's some conflicting numbers out there about like what those numbers are. Lian Li directly says 168mm, and on their website they say 170mm. This is a 164mm cooler and it fits without any issue whatsoever. The glass goes on, it's all good to go. I'll put a PC part picker list down below in the description so you can find out what basically all of the hardware in this system is. And if I missed anything, it'll be over on that PC part picker list as well. So just peruse that at your own leisure. Anyways, I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek, and it's time for some cinematic tings. Let's do it.